think we're ready to start.
So it's not just in the city next year?
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. Yep, we're ready to start.
Yes.
No.
Yes. How are you? Good.
Keep moving forward. It's time to right into that process. So I'd like to
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Fort Schuyler Management Corporation Board to order. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming and recognize the following attendees. Kevin Eunice, Chief Operating Officer of Empire State Development, Emily Conchala, representing SUNY Research Foundation, and Michael Frame, representing SUNY Poly Foundation. At this point in the meeting, I'd like to ask the directors if anyone has a potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the items on today's agenda. And if so, I would ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record now, and then I would remind you that when we come to that item on the agenda, you would need to recuse yourself from any discussion of the item and the vote on that item. Any conflicts? Okay. Hearing none, I'll move on to the approval of the minutes from our last meeting, which was held on February 26th, 2018. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thanks, Joan. Are there any corrections that anyone has to offer to the minutes from the February 26th meeting? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approving the minutes? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are approved. We'll next move on to the Finance Committee report. The first item from the Finance Committee is Resolution 172, a GMP increase for Next Gen Power Systems, Inc., known as the Next Gen Project. Is there a motion to introduce Resolution 172?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Franklin. Second? Thanks. So, Fort Schuyler Management Corporation, by resolution number 109, approved the advance of a project for development, design, and construction of an LED facility. Following a competitive procurement process by resolution numbers 105 and 129, Fort Schuyler Management Corporation was authorized, subject to available grant funds, to enter into a contract with CORE or an affiliate of CORE for the development, design, and construction of the building, as well as related infrastructure and site work for the facility. Pursuant to such authorization, Fort Schuyler Management Corporation entered into an owner-builder agreement with CORE Collimer Road Company 2, effective July 2016, for the design and construction of a facility located at 50 Collimer Crossings Parkway, with a guaranteed maximum price of $66,435,401. Subsequently, the board authorized FSMC, pursuant to resolution number 171, to enter into a contribution agreement with Next Gen Power Systems, Inc. and ESD, whereby ESD will provide grant funding to Next Gen, and the Fort Schuyler Management Corporation will lease the facility at 50 Collimer Crossings Parkway to Next Gen for research and manufacture of power transistors, and allow Next Gen to use the equipment that it owns. The construction of the facility is now nearing completion, and Fort Schuyler Management Corporation seeks authorization, subject again to the available grant funds, to increase the GMP for Core 2 to complete the facility, as well as for improvements needed by Next Gen to accommodate their project. This consists of an increase in the GMP from $66,435,401 to a revised GMP amount of $72,589,746. This increase in construction will be funded from the existing grants, which total $90 million. The Finance Committee adopted a resolution approving this increase in the GMP and is now recommending to the Fort Schuyler Board that the board approve the same action. Any questions about the project itself or the GMP increase recommendation? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution 172?
So moved.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Okay. Resolution 172 is approved. Resolution number 173 is the next item on the agenda. It's the establishment of GMP for Danfoss for clean room related space. I'd like to ask for a motion to introduce resolution number 173.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Franklin. So pursuant to Resolution 154, Fort Schuyler Management Corporation entered into a contribution and collaboration agreement with Danfoss Silicon Power LLC and General Electric Global Research to establish the New York Power Electronics Manufacturing Consortium Packaging Center, which is located at Quad C. To facilitate this project, Fort Schuyler Management Corporation, in conjunction with SUNY Poly, issued an RFP for qualified construction contractors for the facilitation of clean room space, related infrastructure, and tool installation at Quad C. Following the RFP process conducted in compliance with its procurement guidelines, policy, and protocols, FSMC approved resolution number 159, authorizing an award to M&W US Inc., a company which served as the general contractor for the fabrication of the existing Quad C building and the clean room. Resolution number 159 also authorized the president and/or treasurer to enter into a contract with M&W US Inc. for the design and construction of the project in an amount not to exceed $27 million, with the guaranteed maximum price established upon further development of the project's scope and design. Following further development of the project's scope and design, additional building and system improvements have been included in the M&W scope of work. A GMP of $35,300,000 has been established, and Fort Schuyler Management Corporation seeks to authorize the president and/or treasurer to enter into a contract amendment with M&W US Inc. to establish a GMP of $35,300,000 for the project. The expanded scope will be funded from the existing ESD grant, and no additional funds are required. The Fort Schuyler Finance Committee adopted a resolution authorizing a contract amendment with M&W US Inc., establishing a GMP of $35,300,000, and is now recommending that the Fort Schuyler Board approve this same action. Are there any questions about the proposed establishment of the GMP for Danfoss? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve resolution number 173?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Resolution number 173 is approved. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 174, establishment of GMP for Danfoss related to office and other related space. I'd ask for a motion to introduce resolution number 174.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Franklin. So to facilitate the project with Danfoss, Fort Schuyler Management...
They lost me. Purpose.
I'm sorry, Joan?
Joan thought we lost her. We can hear you.
Sorry, I thought I lost you. I'm okay.
No, we can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you. So to facilitate the project with Danfoss, Fort Schuyler Management Corporation, in conjunction with SUNY Poly, also issued an RFP for the design and construction at Quad C to develop office space, conference rooms, laboratories, warehouse space, and common spaces. Following an RFP process conducted in compliance with its procurement guidelines, policy, and protocols, FSMC approved resolution number 160, authorizing an award to the Pike Company and authorizing management to enter into contract negotiations with the Pike Company, with the contract subject to approval by the full FSMC board. Following contract negotiations, FSMC approved resolution number 165, authorizing the president and/or treasurer to enter into a contract with the Pike Company for the design and construction of the project in an amount not to exceed $3 million, with the guaranteed maximum price established upon further development of the project's scope and design. Following further development of the project's scope and design, additional building improvements have been included in the Pike Company's scope of work. A GMP of $3,200,000 has been established, and FSMC seeks to authorize the president and/or treasurer to enter into a contract amendment with the Pike Company to establish a GMP of $3,200,000 for the entirety of this project. The expanded scope will be funded from the ESD grant, and no additional funds are requested or required. The Finance Committee adopted a resolution authorizing a contract amendment with the Pike Company, establishing a GMP of $3,200,000, and is now recommending that the FSMC Board approve this same action. Are there any questions or comments about the proposed GMP? Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to approve resolution number 174.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thanks, Franklin. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Resolution number 174 is approved. Next on the agenda is resolution number 175, which is related to authorization for Athenix to construct a facility in Dunkirk, New York. Is there a motion to introduce resolution number 175?
So moved.
Thank you, Franklin.
Second.
Thank you. So Fort Schuyler Management Corporation and Athenix, which is a global biopharmaceutical company based in Buffalo, New York, entered into an agreement for medical technology research, development, innovation, and commercialization alliance that provides for the construction of an approximately 315,000 square foot state-of-the-art pharmaceutical manufacturing facility and related infrastructure. This facility will be located on 2 parcels of land that consist of approximately 33.5 acres on East Lake Road, located in Dunkirk, New York, which were acquired by Fort Schuyler Management Corporation for this project. ESD is providing Athenix with grant funds to construct the manufacturing facility on the premises and equip it with manufacturing equipment. Fort Schuyler Management Corporation approved Athenix with access to the premises pursuant to a site access agreement dated August 9th, 2017 for the purpose of performing pre-construction activities. FSMC now seeks to grant additional access to the premises to Athenix pursuant to the site access agreement to permit the company to construct the manufacturing facility on these premises in Dunkirk, New York. The Finance Committee adopted a resolution authorizing Athenix to provide the construction of the manufacturing facility pursuant to the site access agreement, and the Finance Committee is now recommending to the full Fort Schuyler Board that it approve a resolution authorizing this same action. Are there any questions or comments about Resolution 175?
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Sure.
What's the timetable for the construction? When's it supposed to be completed?
Well, again, I don't think we have a date offhand to tell you the completion date for the project.
Okay.
But the company is now in a position to commence.
Yeah, and the grant
The-
money is available for the
Construction.
construction, right? So there's not a question of financing.
Okay. When we get the timetable for, you know, is it a 12-month construction schedule, 15 months to a year? If you could just get that information out to me and the board members, I would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments about Resolution 175? Okay. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve Resolution 175?
Make the motion to approve.
Thanks, Franklin.
Second.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thanks. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution 175 is approved. The next item on the agenda is the Audit Committee report. As was the case with Fuller Road Management Corporation, Fort Schuyler Management Corporation needs to engage an entity to review its tax filings for the 2016 tax year. The Audit Committee is recommending to the full board that it engage KPMG to undertake this tax filing review. These will include IRS Form 990 and New York State, the New York CHAR 500 forms. KPMG has also performed the Fort Schuyler Management Corporation audit and reviewed its tax filings over the last 5 years. This does include the 2016 audit, which covers the same time frame as the tax filings that need to be addressed now. So given KPMG's familiarity with Fort Schuyler Management Corporation's finances and its prior year tax filings, the audit committee feels that KPMG has the unique knowledge and ability to perform the needed review both in a thorough and expeditious manner, and accordingly the Fort Schuyler Management Corporation Audit Committee is recommending to the board that it enter into a contract with KPMG to review these tax filings for 2016. Any questions or comments? Is there a motion to authorize KPMG to review the 2016 tax filings?
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Thanks,
Second.
Frank. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any abstentions or nays? Okay. So the motion is approved. Next, we'll move on to new business. Is there any new business that any of the board members would like to raise at this time? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to the public comment portion of the meeting. Would like to provide an opportunity for any member of the public in attendance to make a comment, and would just ask that you keep the comments to 2 minutes or less. Any comments? Okay. All right, then the schedule for next meetings is to be determined, so we will keep all of you posted. And I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
All right, bye, everybody.